What's up, Gianna? How you doing? Welcome into the show, everybody. All right, that way everybody can see. What's up, everybody? Hang on a second, guys. My screen isn't right. All right, can y'all see me better now? Because I can see y'all better now, I think. All right. What's up, everyone? How's everybody doing? Welcome into my living room. So how's everybody feeling today? Mr. Hacked in the chat. Welcome in. What is up, King? How you doing, Tyler? Welcome in, everyone. Come on into the house. This is my living room. Y'all can see. We got some music going today, as long as the dadgum ads go away. I didn't even mean to make that rhyme. But as soon as I can get these ads to go off, we're going to have some music going again, guys.
Eddie, we know now.
But give me just a moment. What's up, Get Hacked? Hell, looks comfy there? Yeah. This is where I live, bro. This is where I reside.
This collection of premium brands.
You know, and everything in here almost is an antique. Everything in here tells a story, which is what I'm going to try to get on to tonight. We're losing family value. And with that, by that, I mean we're losing value in family. It's kind of more the other way around. You know, I want to talk about family. I want to talk about family. I want to talk about understanding. And I want to talk about why is this a pandemic? Why is this a problem? You know, what is so bad about the American family? You know, what is so bad about settling down with somebody, falling in love, you know, bearing children with that person, not with 5 other people, bearing a child with that one person and working through your issues. What's wrong with these things? You know, why is it suddenly, what's up, Raymond? Why is it suddenly so big a deal, you know, why is it so chic to be either a single mom or a divorced man who's broken? Why are these things becoming the norm? You know, guys, why do we have kids growing up without dads? If we could fix the home, we could fix the society, you know, and these are things that I've always thought about. So that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. Yeah! Trolls Bane. Welcome in, CRK. Nice to see you. Sorry I didn't catch you the first time around. Hola. I think that's Spanish. Hostias. Hostias. What does that mean, man? Habla inglés. But anyway, guys, welcome on in, everyone. You know, I thank you for joining my home. There's my remote so I can actually turn up these tunes. For some reason, every time it goes to a commercial, it likes to drop the volume down on my music. But I don't know about you guys, but I like to fucking jam, or pardon me, I like to jam out. So sorry, guys. I'm a little upset. What's up, Bulbasaur? Yeah, it was a slip. My bad. Hello, KK. What's up, Mr. Vince? How's everyone doing? All right, now we got enough people in here. I'm going to get started, okay? But first, let me go grab my horn. Now, we can get set up for skulls. We already need one. First skull of the night, guys. 5 likes. Every 5 likes gets a skull. So this is to the 5th liker. Skull. All right, guys. So, back to what I was talking about the American family, guys. Why is it becoming a problem to have a family? Why is it becoming an issue to be a dad? Why is it becoming so regular to have single moms raising multiple children from multiple daddies? You know, guys, this is a trend that needs to stop. This is something that needs to end with Generation Alpha. You know, if they're listening, you know, please, guys, if you have Generation Alpha in your family, please teach them this. Please teach them this. There is nothing wrong with the family. Make sure if you don't teach them anything, make sure you teach them family values. You know, guys, you need to be as close-knit as the Addams family. You need to be as tight as the Parsons. You know, The Brady Bunch was such a successful movie because that's what every single family wanted to be. They wanted to have multiple kids. They wanted to have the perfect wife. They wanted to have the perfect house. They wanted to have everything, guys. And now we're deciding to settle for the worst. We're deciding to settle for being broken men. We're deciding to settle for being angry women. We're deciding to settle for being traumatized kids. And this doesn't need to happen anymore. This needs to stop. This needs to literally be the end of it. And the reason why, guys, you know, is because this is what's leading to a huge part of the downfall of society. You know, and I hate to say it that way, but think about it. Those that are raised in a proper environment, what do they end up doing? They go on to try to make something great of themselves. They view themselves as better. You know, they view themselves as stronger. They have more confidence. They have strength. They have empowerment. And they can go on to change our very world. They can go on to make a difference. You know, guys, and it's these great minds, these brilliant little moldable minds that need to be enriched in the things that they love and the things that they want to be when they grow up. If they love Minecraft so much, show them architecture. If they love Roblox, show them architecture. You know, guys, show them what it is to be an architect. Try to fuel that into their little brains. You know, sit them down with a sheet of paper and just start drawing houses. Start drawing the weirdest, coolest buildings you can ever think of. You know, what's up, Lucy? Hello, Superior. I'm sorry you're not doing so well on the mental health. Ooh. All right. But as we're going along, man, you know, we're looking into a situation where people are. I am not trying to ignore you, baby. What are you saying? No, what, my love? No, he did not. I said hi, Jen Jen. I didn't miss you. I said hi to you. I promise you. I thought I did, didn't I? Didn't I say hi, Jen? Okay. I'm sorry, baby. I didn't mean to miss you. You know, I'm sorry about that. I've been studying this all day, you know, so I kind of got locked into it. So I do apologize for that. I'll make up for it tonight, okay? Anyway, so back to the show, guys. You know, there's so much going on to unpack here. You know, there's just a plethora of problems that the American home is facing, that the American family is facing. And there's a plethora of problems that come afterwards, you know, guys. And I really, truly do apologize. I'm so sorry. I really do. But there's just so much that's going through my mind. There's so much power to this argument that it's not even funny. And I'm just trying to articulate everything properly to where I just don't sound like a fool. And, you know, it's a tough subject to approach because you do have women that are going out and they are sleeping with multiple men, even though they're in a relationship with one, maybe more. And they're bearing children and they're trying to lay all the children on one guy. And that one guy might be the happiest person on the planet. He'd be the perfect father. He's the perfect caregiver, but he don't have the biggest thing, or he doesn't have the best job, or he doesn't have, you know, he's not as tall, or he's got a dad bod. You know, there's multiple reasons why some of these women claim to cheat, you know, and I'm only giving some of the bad examples. There are some examples where a woman cheated on a man because he cheated on her first. Or, you know, she got tired of his drinking and when she asked him not to, she did something he didn't like. So I've heard of revenge cases, you know, but to sit there and just blatantly sleep with another when you claim to love someone else, you know, that's a concept that is foreign to me. And it is because it is something I have never seen growing up. The way that we are down here, the way we are in my family is, yes, once a cheater, always a cheater. You know, oh, I want to let you go live anymore, Gianna. That's horrible. But anyway, so here's how this ends up playing out usually, is you have situations up around different states and everything like that, even different places in the world, where these men find out one kid isn't theirs. And so they test all the rest of them. And they end up finding out that none of the kids are theirs, or one or two are theirs. So they take care of those one or two, but they still love and are there and provide for the others. You know, but they want to only pay child support on the ones that are theirs. And guys, these men are getting a lot of hate, but there's no reason to hate on them because they're still there for the other kids too. You know, some of these men are great. They're the ultimate fathers, you know, and they're being passed up or they're being mistreated. This parental fraud thing is actually a serious problem. Now, my kids, I couldn't deny them as soon as they were born. Good Lord, they look just like me. So I could not deny anything about my babies. You know, them Gages all the way through. And, oh, I'm sorry, Gianna. Oh, you got copyright strike. You'll be able to go back on later. What's up, Team B? But, guys, if I accidentally miss your comment, you know, just keep chit-chatting in the chat. I'll eventually catch up and be like, hey, who are you? You know? But anyway, guys, so back to what I was saying. You know, we have the situation where now we have fathers that are taking care of kids that aren't theirs. We have mothers that are unfaithful. We have fathers that are unfaithful that also get other women pregnant. That just continues a vicious cycle. And we have a system designed to make it extremely difficult on you if you're paying child support. I don't know about you guys, but I should be getting about $1,000 a month. But because my child support, I get $374. That's what I get in my paycheck. Out of $1,000, I get $374. So, wow. You know, how much, you do the math, because I'm no good at it. But my point of the matter is, I take care of my kids even though I can't see them. Not because I know they're mine. But if I could have worked things through with their mother, and I should have. I was young and I was stupid. And guys, that's usually what happens. You're too young to handle or understand what you've done because there's so much growth stuntage from the 80s through the 90s into the 2000s into now. And now we've got Gen Z has grown up to be old enough to be married. Guys, these are people that are now able to vote. These are people who have these outlandish views and everything like that. And we've got to instill this need to be a close-knit family because all these things that I've mentioned, they all lead to one big problem, the biggest problem of all, which is what we've been seeing with these iPad kids, this misbehaving Gen Alpha, this misbehaving, Gen Z. The whole reason why we're seeing these rise of cases of violence, inability to focus, and, just awful, just absolutely awful, the way that these kids end up having to deal with things. And it ends up leading to traumas. It does end up leading to mental problems. It ends up leading to parental resentment. I heard a report from a teacher that was quitting, that couldn't handle the kids anymore because of how misbehaved they were. She turned around and said that these kids are traumatized. These kids missed out on 2 years of education because of the COVID pandemic. And so most of these kids are 2 years behind. And it was because it was so hard to get them to continue school because they're just sitting behind a computer. When they could watch a 6-second video or have a clip like this playing in the background while they're playing Minecraft. They thought they had better things to do with their time. So it got treated like a 2-year-long vacation. So these kids missed out on all this education. And this has led, oh yes, pin message. What's up, Cowboys? How you doing? But this has led to a generational trauma, a long-standing generational trauma that is going to affect our country. It's not here yet, but the hiccup is building. And when it finally builds all the way through, it might just barf. And this is an unfortunate situation. Oh, thank you for being in the show there, Cowboys. I'm doing great. Problem wasn't him talking to me. It was how he was doing it. Okay, I got you. Hello, Mike and Venus. Thank you very much for the like. We only need one more before we get our next skull. So let's make sure we get that one more like in. Hello, Team B. The worst thing, you're going to dip out? See you later, man. The worst thing about this is you have situations where, and I'm not saying all Gen Z and Gen Alpha and my generation, the millennials, I'm not saying all of us are bad. We've got a lot of good ones out there. We really, really do. The only thing is we've got enough out there that are causing a problem for it to be a problem. I didn't even see that right away, but boy, did I catch on. Oh, thank you very much, Cowboys. We got the 10th like, so you get the skull. This goes out to Cowboys. All right. So, Cowboys, we're giving our 10th like. Skull! All right. Now back to where I was. Yeah, 12 likes already, man. So, yeah, we got this situation going on. Now you have the situations that are happening in the ghettos where you have men that are actually getting women pregnant and actually don't want to take care of the kid. They're just straight up dip, and that's starting to be a culture. No, those are deadbeats. Those aren't dads. Those aren't fathers. Those are sperm donors. And these guys don't deserve any respect. These women that are actually sitting there going, I'm going to go have a baby so I can get a child support check so I don't have to work so I can live off the child support check. No, that child support check is for your child. You are to go out, bust your ass. Excuse the language, but it is true. You are to go out, bust your ass, and work it to the bone for your family. If you don't have a husband, it's up to you. That's what a spinster did back in the day. That's what you're going to have to do. Our grandparents did it. their grandparents did it, you can do it. You know, guys, and you're not wasting money on your kids. I heard a woman say she wasted money on her kids. Like, she got a child support check. And she's like, I'm going to go spend this on my nails. I'm going to go spend this on me because I deserve it, because it's compensation for me wasting money on my children. I was like, wasting money on your kids? Are you kidding me? Like, really? You know, and those are venomous words. What if her kids came across that particular TikTok? What if her kid came across that? What if her kid's friend came across that? You know, their child finds out that their mom thinks she's wasting money. They're going to answer just like what a teacher heard a student say. And she said this online. She said that the student told her his parents don't care. And that's why he only has the iPad. You know, and this is a very, very difficult thing. Because when you're a small child like that, and you think your parents don't care about you, that the only thing that does care about you is your Roblox family, your YouTube friends, your Facebook friends, etc., etc. You think social media is your friend. You're addicted to it. And then you're addicted to video games. And before you know it, you grow up, and that's all you know. That's all you can do. Guys, we're going to run out of the ability to hire beta testers. You know, you can't all be beta testers, video game designers. There's got to be soldiers. There's got to be doctors. There's got to be firefighters. There's got to be teachers. And I've already talked about the education reform that needs to happen. We do need to pay teachers a lot more money. Let's go to the comments here. I have one big crush. I know he's crushing on me too, but I just wait and be patient. Hello, Kristen. Hello, Bob. I don't think Bob's racist. What's up, Kristen? You know, guys, don't. All we ask is just be respectful, everybody. You know, and how you doing there, Jin Jan? Thank you for taking care of the chat for me. You know, I'm going to get to some of these comments here in just a minute. Let's see here. High Tooth. Welcome in, Sharp Tooth. Love the name. Welcome in, Spampton. Hello, Bob. Cowboys. Team B. I'm happy you did that. Saved a lot of heartache. Yeah. Hello, Summer. Lucy. All right. Yeah, you're doing great, baby. Yeah, Lucy, hang in there. You'll find somebody. Don't worry about it. You know, and that's the thing. You got to be patient, though. You can't actually go up to somebody that you like. You don't really have high school sweethearts anymore. They don't really last. And it's very, very painful. Because my grandparents were high school sweethearts. You know, both sides. And they spent literally 90-something years together. You know, except for the Norton side, my mama's side. They died a little younger. But my grandpa lived 90. You know, he spent 90 years knowing my grandmother because they went to grade school together. They lived 3 houses down from each other. You know, they played together. They spent their entire life together and they were children together. And, you know, and I am the copulation of both of those sides. You know, Vietnam veteran, World War II veteran, a construction worker, and a hardworking man. And that created me, guys. And I saw these morals. Even though I came from a broken home, my dad had a marriage. He treated his wife very well. My mom, she stayed single and she struggled a lot, but she did it in the name of her children and she did it right. She was so great. Why is UK kind of a red flag? I have a lot of UK followers. But just be careful though. Do be careful about overseas relationships. What's up, Purple Sun? What's up, sweet country? No, so, you mean hi. You can still say ho. That used to be an old way of saying hi. Anyway, wapa. So, yeah, we have this whole situation where it's just a big stink. It's a big stinking pile of mess. that we need to find a way to instill a better family understanding, instill better home dynamics into our kids as they're growing older now, guys. We need to be able to find a way to make them understand that the greatest gift one can receive is the love, unconditional love of a family. That is the greatest gift one could ever get. Yo, okay. So what's up, man? We're only one more like away from our next skull, guys. Make sure if you're the 15th like, you let me know as soon as you drop it, all right? So I can give you your skull. All right, everybody? Jen, thank you so much. You're being a wonderful, wonderful person. Guys, don't forget, she's an absolute beautiful lady right now. She's my girl. She's my 100% awesome, beautiful love. She's my Jen. Go check her out at @JenHolder-9 or @JenHolder976. I have the dash in mind. All right, who's the 15th like here? All right, sweet country. Here we go. 15 likes. All right. Skull. Skull. All right. So, guys, sorry about that. I got a little overzealous in the skull. But can you blame me? I'm having a good night. Trying to find somewhere to sit down the horn for right now. All right. Said we. What's up, Bubba Smith? So, yeah, guys, when it comes... Dad! So, yeah, guys, when it comes down to the whole thing about family, when it's going to boil down to in the very, very end, is simply put this. Take care of what is yours. Be there for what is yours and your own. Because eventually, they're going to need to be there for you. And you're going to want them to want to be there. But anyway, guys, let's get on into the hangout session, shall we? How are all you guys doing tonight? We're doing good. So I hope y'all are vibing. Because now we're going to change the negative into a positive. What is up? So, anyone new? Let me know if you've never been here before. And if you got any questions, feel free to ask. Austin Painter. Back from the dead. Austrian painter. Nice. But be respectful, man. Oh, there's Country Girl Sweet doing her thing. Just woke up from a nap. Awesome, Tyler. Hopefully it was a good nap. I had a lot of things to do today, but what I do instead, I took a nap. It was a very good nap. How's everybody feeling tonight, guys? Remember, another 5 likes and we get another skull going. So let's get them likes rising up. Let's like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon. Come join the family, guys. Now's the time to come join the conversation. We're going to be going until my parents get home. So let's have some fun, everybody. If you got any questions whatsoever, simply ask. A little bit better, that's good. Doing good, but I got removed from a plane for dropping the N-bomb. Ooh, Bob. Yeah, man. You got to be careful with that. If you're a white male nowadays, that's a big no-no. Guys, people want to talk about oppression. We ain't even got freedom of speech, And, but I guess in ways it may be deserved. But in ways it's still not right by today's standards. So I still don't believe in all that crap. You need a big hug, baby? Here you go. There's you a big old hug. Girl took your seat? Well, then fart on her. Everybody will clear out of the way. Part Western African. Nice, Bob. Poor sweet country. I'm sorry, girl. So everybody, now's the time to enter into the chat. If you've got any questions about me, feel free to ask. My name is Clint Gage. I just talked about, the fall of the Western family and how it's going to affect society. Austin or Austrian. I know you're being a troll. I think you two are starting to act like trolls. So be careful now. I know you've been aggravated, my Jin Jin. Well, you've been respectful. That is true. But I just got a feeling, man. We're going to be watching. Troll fame's on the watch. I've been burned before. That's the only reason why, man. I'm starting to get savvy about some of this stuff here on this internet. As long as you stay respectful, it'll be okay. Yeah, she's been aggravated. We've had a bad day. Both of us have. And it aggravates the patootie out of the two of us. If one has the bad day, we both have a bad day. It aggravates the hell out of us. Let's see. Well, of course he does. Everybody knows that face. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh. Yeah, she said she's been really busy with the new sign language class. What's up, cowboys? Hello, Tyler. Ice cream? Yeah, I wish I had some. It'll get better for sure, Tyler. We're just hitting a bump. Yeah, good. She's okay, man. She's all right. Yeah, she's just going through some things right now with school and everything like that, which I understand. She's a busy young lady. Yeah, French fries do sound pretty good right now, considering that I have some sausage in there to eat. It'd be nice to have a sausage sandwich with some French fries. So how's everybody doing? Welcome in, welcome in. If you're new, come join the show. Let's have some fun, guys. Just show you around, basically give you an idea of the show. My name is Clint Gage. This is my axe, Troll's Bane. This is keep the internet trolls away. Nice and fancy. This is also the weapon I train with almost every day. I ended up not training today because we had some legal issues with the neighbor being afraid. Oh, I got you. That's okay. You're not going to eat my axe rocks. Yeah, it does sound good, Tyler. Steak and fries. All right, guys. So, anybody got any questions? Anybody got any concerns about anything? Throw a topic out there, guys. Let's see what you got. But right, because it's my axe. Thank you, Austrian. I'm a heavy metal fan, man. I am, so I had to find some copyright-free heavy metal music to play. That's why I was like, hey, Dad and them are going to be gone for a little while. Let's have some music. Yeah. Okay, my Jin. I'll go check them out as soon as I'm done. Man, if I wasn't dealing with stuff in my bedroom today, I was napping. Because I'd sit down and I'd be like, okay, I'm going to cool off because it's super hot. And I'm just going to sit here for a little while. The next thing I know, I'd wake up and it'd be 30 minutes later. And I'm like, crap. And I got to run and go do something else. I still got to do my laundry after this. Bark, bark, bark. Welcome back, Lucy. With her unicorns, hearts, and rainbows. One of the sweetest, nicest people in here. So yeah, guys, if you're having a bad day, come on in and tell us what's going wrong. You know, maybe we can give you some advice. Maybe we can help you out. And I say we because there's a lot of people up there. You know, I'm kind of starting to own the crazy. You know, I can't fight my schizophrenia. Well, I can fight my schizophrenia, especially with my meds. But what I mean is I can't change the fact that I'm a schizophrenic. So I might as well love it and own up to it. I see incredible things that most people don't, you know, because they can't. But my mind can comprehend it and see it. You know, so I own the fact that I'm schizophrenic. So I'm happy to be a little nuts. Ooh, Rock, I bet you was hungry. Yeah, there's a lot of dogs around here. These are my dad's dogs. This is Buddy. What's up, Buddy? Whoa. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. What's up, Buddy? What's up? This is Grace. This is Grace. Hey, buddies. And I call Molly, but she's too fat to jump up and say hi. she's a little plump round thing. She's kind of shaped like a Vienna sausage. And my dog is unfortunately in my room because him and his brother don't get along. They'll try to fight each other. I've been having an issue with a neighbor, keeps calling the police on me for just being myself for loud music. Well, God, man, there is such a thing as noise laws. So that you just got to understand. Get yourself some headphones, brother. That's going to solve the problem. You're just going to have to meet a compromise there, man. You know, my neighbor didn't feel safe because I was outside practicing with this axe. She was afraid it would slip out of my hand and would fly into her house or would hit her little nephew that was running around outside and playing or something like that. She thought I was going to kill somebody by accident. And plus, she said it was spreading violence to the children. Well, I turned around and I told her, would you say the same thing about Tai Chi? Would you say the same thing about somebody practicing Taekwondo, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai? And she was like, yes, I would. You know, and I was like, okay, why is that? And the first thing out of her mouth was it was toxic masculinity. Hold on a minute. Oh, well, the parents are here, so it's time to shut it down, guys. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all so much. I hope you enjoyed the show. We'll check you all next time. Remember, see you from a swamp, later from a gator. Love your mama, love your papa, love yourself. Be kind and always find a way to help. We'll catch you guys next time. Bye, everybody.